I just had a few things to say. I'm gonna get off here. I ain't gonna tell nobody who to vote for. I already did an open your eyes video regarding just what's happening with the presidential election, but I just think it's funny. Let's first address just a few things. I think it's really funny, first off, that people got mad at Donald Trump for saying black jobs, right? I understand why people got mad. Didn't offend me. I don't have a black job, whatever that is. But I understand what he was trying to say, but he may not have conveyed it all the way. People just stuck on that and didn't really follow what the man was actually trying to say. That's why you have to listen to the whole context of something before you just judge. Oh my God, he's saying white jobs. People got mad at that, but you were okay with the fact that Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's more offensive to me than somebody saying a black job. Like, black jobs, he never even said what the black jobs were. You can only like read between the lines or assume what he might have been saying, but the people that actually put the black jobs on display, quote unquote, whatever the black jobs were Forbes. If you go and look at the Forbes article, they were the ones that said what black jobs, typical like African American people would, go for or whatever, which is stupid to say because there are a lot of African American people that do all types of line of work. Not everybody just is a janitor or secretary or a teacher or, and even those lines of work, it doesn't really matter. A lot of those jobs are necessary. They keep our economy going. It's like a job is really just a job. Like, it doesn't really matter if it's black, white, whatever. White people work those jobs, black people, Hispanics, whatever. I got what he was trying to say. People of that come as immigrants, not just Hispanics, come over here. They'll end up getting their visa cards and all that kind of stuff fast. I live in a sanctioned state, so a lot of times it's very quick for them to get their papers and stuff if they go through the correct process, because they want, some businesses will pay for their visas. Some of them won't. But if they know they need workers and they believe that these people work really well and they can work hard or whatever, then they'll hire them and they'll pay for those visas, the work visa, for them to be here to work. A lot of times that's what's happening. And I mean, I can't fault the business for doing that because they need to hire help. But at the end of the day, yeah, I remember living in Georgia and a young man I was working with, I mean, he was older than me, but he was actually for the wall being built. He's a black man, been in the country for all his life, and he was okay with that happening because he felt like because he was a black man with felonies, it was harder for him to get jobs, and an immigrant that comes here can end up getting a job before he does. And I totally understood his sentiments, and I think that was fair for him to say because he's been through the muck and the mire, but we don't even know who these people are from the can of paint. We don't know their background. We don't have to do background checks on them, really, coming from another country. I mean, how much can you really do a background check on? You're not going to fact check everybody that walks up in this piece. So I got what he was saying. This was years ago when I was living in Georgia. And so I just think people are just so offended about everything, and you're not trying to listen to what the person actually is saying. I mean, whatever you choose is what you choose, who you vote for. But I know what my future holds, and I know what I need in place for my future children who aren't even here yet to come into this place and really be profitable and prosperous. Like, I don't want to be up under another 4 years of some bull crap. Like, enough is enough. Like, you got to stand for something, or you'll just be a goop for anything. You would just really go into being like, you'll go for anything if you don't research, if you don't do your research. You may not like somebody, but it's not a personality contest. Like, I'm not going to go and vote for Kamala because Kamala's a woman. That doesn't impress me at all. And then furthermore, people got pissed off at the inauguration when Donald Trump got inaugurated his first term, when the gospel artist Travis Green and Chrisette Michelle, who isn't a gospel artist, but she got gospel background, I think, and she's an R&B artist, sang at the inauguration. I think they sang "You Made a Way." I can't remember. They sang some compilation. It was a couple years ago, so I can't remember what song was sang. But they dragged her through the mud. That girl was like going through depression and was borderline suicidal because people read her for filth because she went and sang. And I don't know how bad Travis Green got, but I'd rather have somebody, especially if you're a Christian, why are you going to be upset at somebody singing at an inauguration when we need the power of God? You got mad because he was racist and they shouldn't have been singing at the inauguration. Why would we not, regardless if he was or not, or is or not? Like, look at David. King David played for Saul. Saul had demons tormenting him, and God used him in that space, regardless of Saul's choice and how horrible he was to David. He still used David in that moment to you know, remove the things that were torturing Saul through music. So why would we as Christians be upset at the fact that somebody's going to go sing at the White House, gospel artist? Y'all wasn't mad when Beyonce had nerve to get up there and try to sing At Last, which wasn't even her song when Obama came in. I didn't even like that, and I was still a Beyonce fan. And I was like, why they gonna choose her? Why not have Etta James? Why? Because she sang it for that movie. She gonna get up there in that purple lavender ugly dress trying to sing and inaugurate the black president. Like, that irritated me, and I was still a fan of hers at this time. I don't listen to her. I'm not a fan of hers anymore. I really don't care for her. But I'm like, people got mad at the other stuff, but they wouldn't get mad at stuff like that. The weird stuff, when they were having people twirling around on ribbons. Even me and my cousin were talking about it. I'm like, what kind of inauguration is this? You're supposed to have the black gospel when the black president in there. It's just some weird, because they had an agenda, and their agenda worked for the time being that he was in office, because he was a puppet. Same thing with Biden. You know, I would just say it's elder abuse. The last 4 years has been elder abuse, and they've just been doing some really wicked stuff. I can't even give you all the rundown. You got to do research for yourself and go look at the right media outlets and go read the right articles and go look at your history of the country in general and just the history. And you got to also look at the patterns, follow cycles. Like, I think people are so geeked up by, you know, stuff that's happening. I'm like, why are we even going through this? Why are we even talking about some of this stuff? Like, we got to be a little bit more wiser, a little bit more smarter about what's happening right now. I don't know. I just had to say that. I got to get gas. Goodbye.